Thank you, everyone. I'd like to call this public caucus back to order. And I know Councilman McAndrew had a question for Mrs. Sheridan.
I don't have a question. I just want to say great presentation. Thank you for noting the successes of your department in the past year, and keep up the great work.
Thank you. Anyone else for the Treasury Department? Okay. The last one is the IT Department. We all know that the we do not have an IT director at this point, so can you, and Mr. Dealey is not here tonight. I know that he has been the quasi-director over the last few months. So what are the plans for hiring an IT director? Have we interviewed anyone yet? And when do you plan on hiring someone to fulfill that important role?
As I think you all know, the director position has been posted for 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 months. I'm not sure how long it's been. It's been a very long time. Our IT director left for a job that pays almost double what that individual is making here. And again, while we don't expect anyone working here to think that they're going to get a private sector salary here, we are just not going to be able to recruit a high-level IT director, technical IT director at the salary, which is why you all have had in front of you the proposal to hire an outside firm to help us with our IT as we have been doing, and since the former IT director left and then going forward. We just don't have the salary levels in city government to be able to run all of these systems ourselves. I think you all are probably aware that that's the trend in both the public and the private sector, and the nonprofit sector certainly. Companies like Bedrock and others exist for this reason. They support other organizations who couldn't stand these things up themselves. So while we have the IT director posted, and we certainly hope we could get more applicants. I think the important piece is how we go forward. That's why the Bedrock technology contract is before you. That's why you see one less position in the structure, because we think if we're going to be outsourcing this, that we would have someone to manage that, an IT director to manage that, but that IT director would not be expected to be building the system themselves. And then you'd have the 2 technicians that are out, in all the buildings, at the public safety buildings, working on the day-to-day pieces, working on, help desk, liaising as well with the firm that we outsource to. And then we have an incredible business transformation specialist, Amanda Halleck, who has been working on all of our open gov transition and getting us to a point where we're already experiencing some great results from that. And as we continue to open up more of unlock more of the categories and pieces of OpenGov as we go to NeoGov, Amanda will continue to help us with that. So we're excited about that. I think there's really only one direction we can go in. And as we look at Scranton not as just one entity on its own, as we look at ourselves as part of what is a global risk system that is IT now. Cities like ours are always vulnerable. Public sector, cyber attacks are often directed at vulnerable places, and public sector entities are seen as vulnerable places. So the more we can do to gird ourselves against that, the better off we are, and also the more our insurance provider likes us and wants to see us have more and more security and more expertise at our disposal.
Thank you. Are the IT technician, both positions, those are both filled at this time?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And what is the reason that Mr. Dealey's not here tonight?
He is at a funeral in another state tonight.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
He was expecting to be here, and that changed.
Okay. Any other questions for the IT department?
I have a quick one. So one of our last meetings with Mr. Dealey, and I'm very sorry to hear that he's here away at a funeral. That's very sad. But one of the last times he met with us, he pretty much said he eliminated his own position in the budget process. So with that said, where does Mr. Dealey fall into the 2022 budget?
We should discuss personnel in a private session. I don't think that's something we need to discuss tonight.
Any other?
You want to have an executive session after this? Good.
Sure. Any other questions for the IT department?
So which line item would Bedrock be paid out of? Would that be professional services, or is that services and maintenance fees?
Professional services, I believe.
Pretty sure it's professional services.
Yeah. I am almost sure that it's professional services. I don't want to guarantee it is, just since
Let me
neither
just-
of us are the primary on
Yeah, but I could just clarify, there might be two things out there. I think there might be some licensing and agreements that go along with it, so there might be a combined.
So just, I don't expect you out, I mean, you're not the IT director, so, but would we just be able to get a breakdown of what comes out of professional services and then what comes out of that services and maintenance fee in
Sure.
terms of what, our deliverables are?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a question I asked when Mr. Dealey was here last time, and they were the two line items he had stated. And I felt like he said about 72, I feel like there was a note on the professional service that 72,000 would be professional services and maybe the rest would fall under services and maintenance, but it is,
The note
the
that I-
total cost is 240,000, so it would have to,
Yeah, the note that I have on his October 24th document that he presented to you is that there's a open gov fee of, I believe, 72,000. That's a one-time fee for 2022. But, so I think, again, I think that that line item is open gov, Bedrock, and then, I'm not sure what else, but we'll get you the
so,
breakdown.
yeah, that breakdown would be
that.
helpful.
Any other questions? Okay.
Can I close with something, or do you have
No,
any
no,
other?
go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say again, thank you for the opportunity to be here again tonight. I think what you've seen here, and I'll just say as the BA, the bureau departments that were here tonight are under the purview of the BA. And I just want to let everyone know that the work that they do day in and day out has been shown here. I've only been here, like I said, 5.5 months, but it's truly been a pleasure to work with all of them and to present to you guys, the council, the proposed budget for 2022. The BA's office, just so you know, there are a few more things I want to touch on. It's not just Treasury and Human Resources and IT, and again, according to the charter, working with these other departments, Department of Public Works, the Fire, Police, and a few others, law, that I communicate with daily, all of those services. But there's also been some accomplishments here from the BA's office this year alone. The transition to Open Gov has been no small matter. You've heard some comments here tonight about the success it's had. That all happened in a transition time from earlier this year until the fall, when we actually implemented the transition to Open Gov. And I do hope that next year, when we have a full year of using that platform, will show that the process will pay dividends for the city for next year and for the years in the future. But I want to talk about a couple other things that I think are important to recognize as we come out of Act 47. Solicitor Eskra had made a point regarding the S&P bond, our credit rating earlier. You have before you for Tuesday night a couple of pieces of legislation that talk to policies that have been bandied around here for a couple of years. To Solicitor Eskra's credit, and to Solicitor O'Brien's credit, and to the mayor, they have been pushing those policies since I've been here. We've been working to clarify some of the language. But these are the types of policies and initiatives that really will make the city successful in the future. And I appreciate the fact that you're engaged in this process and you're engaged in the questioning of it. So I just wanted to convey to you that the BA's office just simply isn't, a pass-through and someone who's not really paying attention. There are a lot of bouncing balls in this city, whether you know it or not. I'm sure you do, but there are a lot of bouncing balls here. And I know everyone sitting at this table and at that dais, we're all rooting for the success of the city, but I can assure you there are some folks out there who are rooting for some demise. So it's our job and it's our responsibility to make sure that this city is successful, and we're going to do everything in our powers to make sure that's the case. So thank you again.
Thank you, and I just would like to say that we do appreciate all of you coming in, and especially over the last few weeks, the department heads. It's, as you know, something that I've been pushing for, and we were finally able to get it done this year. So I do appreciate that. I will say, though, that I have been very disappointed, as all of you know, with the process. It's just very, very frustrating and maddening at times, and I'm hoping that next year it will be better, and that you all will respect council in our office and the public in the way that you present the budget to us, because it's been a very, very difficult few weeks in terms of all the changes. But again, we do appreciate working with you, and we look forward to ending this process on December 14th. Thank you.